Chances are you're watching this because you're considering a 22 for personal defense, or maybe you're just exploring the idea of using either the 22 long rifle or the 22 Magnum for concealed carry. These small calibers often don't get the same attention as the larger stuff like 9mm or 45 automatic, but let me tell you, when loaded with the right ammunition, a 22 can actually be a capable and surprisingly effective choice for close-quarters self-defense. Speaking from experience, I've sent thousands of rounds downrange from a wide variety of handguns and rimfire platforms. In this video, I'll walk you through my personal picks for the best 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum ammunition built specifically with concealed carry in mind. We'll go over everything from reliable expansion and solid penetration to how well these loads cycle in compact pistols and revolvers. We'll take a close look at proven options like the CCI Stinger and Federal Punch in 22 long rifle, and then move into high-performance loads like Hornady's Critical Defense and Speer's Gold Dot in 22 Magnum. Now, let me be clear, ammo selection matters a lot when you're carrying a rimfire gun for protection. Some rounds just don't cut it when it comes to terminal performance. But the good news is, if you know what to look for, there are rounds out there that bring real stopping power to the table even from these tiny cartridges. I've done extensive testing to help narrow it all down, so whether you carry a compact semi-auto or a snub-nose revolver, you'll find a few dependable loads here. Let's kick things off with one of the fastest rimfire rounds on the market. Aguila Super Maximum Hyper Velocity. The Aguila Super Maximum Hyper Velocity stands out in the 22 long rifle category for one big reason: it's insanely fast. Out of a rifle-length barrel, this round can reach speeds close to 1,700 feet per second, which puts it at the top end of standard 22 long rifle velocity. It features a 30-grain copper-plated solid point projectile and is engineered for maximum speed, making it ideal for varmints or small game. Now, when you run this ammo through a compact pistol or revolver, you'll still get pretty respectable speeds, usually around 1,200 feet per second. That kind of velocity really helps with flat trajectories and solid penetration, although expansion tends to be limited because of the lighter bullet weight. For defensive use, that high velocity can punch through soft tissue fairly well and even get through lighter barriers. However, when it comes to heavier clothing or bone, that light 30-grain bullet can be inconsistent. I'd consider the Super Maximum a decent choice if you want something fast and snappy for a defensive shot at very close range. It's also fairly affordable, which makes it attractive for those who want a high-speed, no-fuss round in their compact carry piece. CCI Velocitor. When it comes to serious rimfire self-defense loads, the CCI Velocitor is at the top of my list. It's built around a 40-grain copper-plated hollow point and strikes an impressive balance between energy and penetration. Out of a full-length barrel, you're looking at speeds around 1,400 feet per second, and from a short-barrel handgun, you're still getting a solid 900 to 1,000 feet per second. Ballistic gel tests show that the Velocitor typically gets between 12 to 15 inches of penetration, right in the ideal range for personal defense, and it performs this reliably even when shooting through clothing or other intermediate barriers. What really makes the Velocitor stand out compared to something like the CCI Stinger is the bullet weight. That extra 10 grains means more retained energy and better momentum, which is exactly what you want if you're relying on a rimfire in a life-threatening situation. While expansion isn't always dramatic from a short barrel, the Velocitor is about as consistent as it gets in the 22 long rifle world. If you're carrying a 22 and want a round that offers real-world performance, this is the one I recommend without hesitation. Federal Champion Lead Round Nose. Let's talk about a basic but trustworthy round, the Federal Champion Lead Round Nose. This is a classic 40-grain lead round nose design, more often seen at the range, but it still has defensive potential. When fired from a compact pistol or revolver, it generally produces a velocity of around 1,000 feet per second, not blisteringly fast, but consistent. Now, this is not a hollow point, so you're not going to see much expansion. But what it does offer is straightforward, reliable penetration. In ballistic gel, it often reaches up to 12 inches, plenty for defensive encounters, especially when shot placement is on point. This round is also widely available and tends to feed reliably in most rimfire handguns. If you're training or trying to get comfortable with a new carry piece, the Federal Champion Lead Round Nose is a great round to practice with. And while it wouldn't be my first pick for defensive use, its simplicity and reliability make it a decent fallback if you're out of premium ammo. Plus, it's ideal for working on your fundamentals and making every shot count. CCI Stinger. If you're looking into carrying a 22 long rifle for self-defense, the CCI Stinger definitely earns a spot on the list. This round is widely recognized for its blazing speed and solid energy output. Out of a full-length rifle barrel, the Stinger can push a 32-grain hollow point up to around 1,640 feet per second. In compact pistols, you're still getting roughly 1,100 feet per second, plenty to give it decent penetration, often brushing up against the 12-inch mark in gel testing, which is the benchmark used by the FBI. Where the Stinger really shines is energy transfer. It hits fast and makes a big impression. That said, because it uses a lighter bullet, it sometimes lacks the punch needed to get through dense materials like heavy clothing or bone. Expansion is also a bit unpredictable depending on the distance and what it hits. Still, if your goal is to wring the absolute most velocity out of a 22 long rifle for defensive purposes, the Stinger gives you a flat-shooting, hard-hitting option. Just keep in mind, like most hypervelocity rimfire rounds, it trades some consistency in expansion for raw speed. Winchester Varmint HV. The Winchester Varmint HV brings something a little different to the table. Built around a 30-grain segmented hollow point, this 22 Magnum round is engineered to fragment on impact, sending multiple shards into the target to create greater internal damage. It's a design originally meant for pest and varmint control, but in certain defensive scenarios, especially at close range, it can be surprisingly effective. From a rifle, this round clocks in at roughly 2,200 feet per second, and even from compact handguns it holds up well, reaching over 1,300 feet per second. That speed, combined with the fragmenting bullet, means it delivers a lot of immediate disruption on target. However, it's not a deep penetrator, usually getting around 10 to 12 inches in ballistic gel. That might not be ideal for threats wearing heavy clothing or gear, but for lightly clad assailants or situations where overpenetration is a concern, this round excels. It's fast, it's aggressive, and in the right hands, it can definitely do the job. Federal Punch Personal Defense. Federal's Punch personal defense load for 22 long rifle has earned a lot of respect in the concealed carry world, and for good reason. It's not just a repurposed varmint round, this one was designed specifically for defensive use. With a flat-nose 29-grain projectile, it travels at just over 1,070 feet per second from a short barrel, and it consistently punches into the 12-inch range in ballistic gel. The real advantage of this round is its predictable performance. Since it's not a hollow point, it doesn't rely on expansion, which is often hit or miss with 22 long rifle anyway, especially in compact firearms. Instead, the flat tip and decent velocity help it drive deep and stay on course, even through some light barriers. Federal optimized this ammo to run well in short-barreled pistols and revolvers, focusing on reliable feeding and consistent penetration. If you're carrying a rimfire and want something purpose-built for self-defense, the Federal Punch is about as dependable as it gets. CCI Mini-Mag Hollow Point. The CCI Mini-Mag Hollow Point is a classic rimfire choice that has stood the test of time. With a 36-grain copper-plated hollow point and velocity around 1,260 feet per second from a rifle, it still manages close to 900 to 1,000 feet per second in compact handguns. It doesn't quite hit the speeds of the Stinger, but it offers a well-rounded mix of performance and control. This round gives you modest expansion potential and reliable function, especially in semi-automatic pistols where feeding can be an issue with certain hollow points. While expansion might be limited from shorter barrels, it still penetrates consistently and cycles reliably, two key factors for self-defense ammo. For shooters who want something that works both for plinking and protection, the Mini-Mag Hollow Point checks a lot of boxes. It's accurate, easy to shoot, and has a strong track record of running smoothly in just about every rimfire platform out there. Fiocchi Performance Soft Point. Fiocchi's Performance Soft Point load brings something different to the table in the world of 22 Magnum defensive ammo. This cartridge features a 40-grain soft point projectile designed to combine deep, reliable penetration with controlled, moderate expansion. When fired from a compact revolver, you can expect it to hit speeds close to 1,800 feet per second, plenty of velocity to create a respectable wound path. This round is especially effective in revolvers, where the soft point design helps ensure smooth performance and manageable recoil. Unlike hollow points, which sometimes overexpand or fail to penetrate, the Fiocchi soft point stays on target and consistently punches through to depths beyond 12 inches in gel tests. If you're looking for a dependable carry load that prioritizes reliable penetration with just enough expansion, this one's a smart pick for concealed carry and real-world self-defense use. Winchester Varmint High Energy. The Winchester Varmint High Energy load brings a unique design to the 22 long rifle category. It uses a 37-grain segmented hollow point bullet engineered to fragment on contact. From a full-length rifle barrel it reaches nearly 1,400 feet per second, and from shorter handgun barrels it still delivers close to 1,000 feet per second. When used for defensive applications, this load produces multiple wound tracks as the bullet breaks apart, increasing internal damage. That said, the same fragmentation that makes it effective at creating disruption also limits its ability to reach deep, often falling short of the 12-inch standard set by the FBI, especially from short barrels. In my opinion, this is an ideal option for up-close situations where the attacker isn't heavily clothed or armored. If your goal is aggressive energy transfer and tissue disruption rather than maximum depth, the Varmint High Energy round has a place in your carry rotation. Speer Gold Dot. If you're carrying a compact revolver chambered in .22 Magnum, the Speer Gold Dot is one of the best options on the market. Designed from the ground up for short-barrel firearms, this 40-grain jacketed hollow point round leaves the muzzle at around 1,050 feet per second, providing controlled, dependable expansion. Speer tuned this round to deliver penetration that lines up with FBI standards, meaning it performs well even in less than ideal conditions. It strikes a great balance, retaining enough weight to punch through barriers while still expanding reliably. Whether you're carrying a snub-nose for backup or it's your primary option, the Gold Dot is built to give you consistent results in real-world defensive encounters. It's an excellent choice for shooters who value both accuracy and terminal performance in their carry ammo. Hornady Varmint Express. Originally developed for hunting small pests and varmints, the Hornady Varmint Express in .22 Magnum also offers some defensive capability. Loaded with a 30-grain VMAX bullet, it's designed for rapid fragmentation and high energy transfer upon contact. From a long gun, it can reach speeds over 2,200 feet per second, and from compact pistols, it still manages around 1,300 feet per second. This round hits hard and fast, creating extensive tissue disruption, great for stopping an unarmored threat quickly. However, penetration is on the lighter side, usually ranging between 10 and 12 inches in gel testing, which may not be enough for larger assailants or situations where you're dealing with heavy clothing. If you need immediate energy dump and maximum wound trauma at close range, and you know your surroundings, the Varmint Express delivers exactly that. Federal Premium Personal Defense. Federal's Premium Personal Defense load in .22 Magnum is a heavy hitter built for serious carry use. With a 50-grain hollow point projectile, this cartridge favors penetration over expansion, offering a different approach from most lightweight rimfire rounds. Fired from a rifle, it hits around 1,530 feet per second, and from snub-nosed handguns, it still maintains solid velocity. That heavier bullet holds onto its energy well, punching through barriers and achieving over 12 inches of penetration in gel testing. If you're planning for worst-case scenarios where barriers like winter jackets or other tough materials are involved, this round is a dependable choice. The Federal Premium strikes a solid balance. It hits hard, digs deep, and gives you the consistency you want in a defensive load, especially if penetration is your top priority. CCI Maxi-Mag Hollow Point. The CCI Maxi-Mag Hollow Point stands as one of the most trusted options in the .22 Magnum lineup, offering consistent performance and solid penetration. This cartridge is loaded with a 40-grain jacketed hollow point bullet that reaches velocities near 1,875 feet per second from a rifle-length barrel. While that speed tapers off in snub-nose revolvers, it still delivers dependable expansion and energy transfer, making it effective for both pest control and close-range personal defense. In self-defense scenarios, the Maxi-Mag routinely achieves up to 12 inches of penetration in ballistic gelatin, meeting the minimum performance criteria for stopping threats. It runs well in a variety of firearm platforms, whether you're using a compact revolver or a semi-automatic pistol chambered in .22 Magnum. While it may not be a precision shooter at longer ranges, its accuracy is more than adequate for short-distance defensive applications. If you're looking for a go-to defensive load that blends reliability, versatility, and performance, the CCI Maxi-Mag deserves a spot in your carry rotation. Hornady Critical Defense. Hornady's Critical Defense load in .22 Magnum is engineered specifically for concealed carry and personal protection. It features a 45-grain flex-tip expanding projectile designed to combat one of the biggest issues with hollow points, clogging from fabric. The polymer tip helps ensure dependable expansion on impact, even when penetrating clothing or light barriers. When fired from short-barreled handguns, it achieves around 1,000 feet per second, all while keeping muzzle flash to a minimum, a big advantage in low-light conditions. What really sets this round apart is the consistent expansion it delivers from compact revolvers, which are often finicky with rimfire ammunition. The flex tip design helps create a wide wound channel while maintaining penetration depths within the FBI's preferred range, usually between 10 and 12 inches in gel tests. If you're relying on a .22 Magnum revolver for self-defense, the critical defense round offers the kind of performance and consistency you can trust when every shot counts. Winchester Dynapoint Magnum. Winchester's Dynapoint Magnum is a unique entry in the .22 Magnum category, utilizing a 45-grain soft-point bullet that strikes a balance between expansion and penetration. It travels at a modest muzzle velocity of around 1,550 feet per second, but don't let the lower speed fool you. This round delivers controlled performance, reaching between 12 and 14 inches in ballistic gel. For defensive use, the Dynapoint Magnum minimizes the risk of overpenetration while still hitting with enough authority to be effective. Its soft-point construction allows it to hold together well, maintaining bullet integrity while creating a modest but effective expansion. That kind of performance makes it a strong candidate for both small-game hunting and concealed carry. If you're after a dependable, no-nonsense round that prioritizes penetration and bullet stability, Winchester's Dynapoint Magnum is a worthwhile choice. Thanks for sticking around until the end of the video. As you've seen, the .22 Magnum might be small, but with the right ammunition it can absolutely serve a role in personal defense. From high-velocity fragmentation rounds to deep penetrating soft points, there's no shortage of options depending on what you prioritize, be it expansion, energy transfer, or barrier penetration. If this video helped you out, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more coming your way on ammo testing, firearms reviews, and everyday carry tips. Your support keeps this content going and helps ensure you don't miss what's next. Thanks again for watching, stay safe, stay ready, and I'll catch you in the next one.